Tara and Andy's film reviews on OurGamers.co.uk.
Welcome to another film review. Tara Malik here and...
me, Andy Baines.
Okie dokie, Andy. So this time we're going to be talking about The Shape of Water. It was out a little bit ago, but, you know, we have the notes and we thought we'd let you know all about it. So here we go. Classified 15, director Guillermo del Toro. I mean, quite a well-known name there. Starring in this film, you've got Sally Hawkins, Octavia Spencer, Michael Shannon. That's just a few names, obviously. Genre, adventure, drama, fantasy. Fair enough. I kind of see that. Running time, it is a bit of a longer film, but not the longest we've ever seen. It's 2 hours and 3 minutes. And the film is about this. At a top secret research facility in the 1960s, a lonely janitor forms a unique relationship with an amphibious creature that is being held in captivity. So it's intriguing. I mean, the synopsis is quite intriguing and could have really gone there, you know. I mean, well, she really went there, but let's not get into that. Let's not get into that, shall we? Story and script, Andy. What have you got?
It was intriguing.
You see,
right,
go for it.
From
Go for it.
Start, it's obviously quite far-fetched.
Yes.
And it's done well for the part of it. But
yes.
It did feel a bit slow towards the end.
Yeah. I tried my I should get an A for effort. I tried my best to follow this film. I really did. The amount of holes in it, it's just so full of plot holes. It's ridiculous. It's so questionable. A lot of it doesn't quite make sense. I can see the idea of it. I get it, but I feel like it was in such an early... what's the word? It's like in early stages. I really feel like they hadn't fully developed it. Yeah. And it was quite lengthy. Or maybe, I mean, it's not a long film. It's 2 hours. I mean, you kind of expect that for...
It feels like it could wrap up sooner.
Oh, definitely. I got that. Just when you think it'll wrap up, a whole new section emerges. And it just didn't make any sense. It was bizarre. It was a bit of an odd film. I get that. I also wrote, where is it going? Like, at one point, I was just like, what journey are they taking me on? I have no idea. I'm a little creeped out right now. I kind of want to really root for them, but I really don't understand what's going on. So, and I wrote, okay, they went there. Lol. So, yeah. But yeah, it felt long. And yeah, I think it was just the pace towards the end. I think it's where, I think you and I can both agree, the bit where you thought it was going to wrap up and where it probably would have made sense to wrap up and kind of make sense of the story, they didn't. Mm-hmm. And that whole bit after, it was like, why?
Mm-hmm.
That's that.
We both agree there, I think.
I've also got a note. You'll know exactly the one I'm talking about, Andy. What on earth is this scene? Random black and white song. That was so random.
I've got a random note that says, look for Tara's reaction to a dance/song scene.
I know.
And I did look over to you.
I
did see your response.
Yes. Yeah, it was just...
I remember it.
I think it was just like a what the... like...
That's the face I was just putting.
Yeah. The thing is, though, with that little section, I think the extravagant, random little number they did there, it would have been such a much more powerful piece if it had just been more with dance, if it had just been more of an expression and that sort of surreal thing, as opposed to
rather than taking the characters completely out of what they were.
Yeah, it was just so random. It just didn't make any sense. And then I kind of get it. She's a mute, so let's suddenly make her sing. But it just didn't fit. Like, it didn't work for me. And I think it may have been more powerful if she would have expressed through movement as opposed to, let's just give her a voice suddenly. Nah, I think it would have been way more powerful if she had just danced it and moved. The film, though, I mean, there are some artsy bits here and there. It's a very violent film, so it wasn't quite my cup of tea. And then I wrote gross. I mean, there were a few... Yeah, it was a very violent film. Like, unnecessarily violent. But then there's his style. I know. I was just like, I don't know. A few things were touched upon as well that were never to be of any relevance later on as well. And in a film, you'd be like, what? How? Apparently, like, this is what I was learnt at uni. Everything, the shots, the script, everything in a film is meant to be there. Everything has a reason. It's just a piece of the puzzle, and it all, at the end, it's all put together. This film, let's have a bit of this, let's have a bit of that, let's have this random thing. It's never going to be touched upon again. No, there was just so much. It was just like, let's just have that in there. And it's like, but why? There's nothing. There was nothing. Oh, yeah, you know what I'm trying to say. There was just no point to it. It was just for the fun of it, just put it in there. So, I don't know. That's just what I thought. And some surreal moments as well, which is kind of, it's the fantasy aspect of it. I totally understand that. But bizarre. I think bizarre would be my word for this film.
Definitely.
And not necessarily in a good way.
I've got the word unique in there more than once.
Yeah. Yeah. The thing is, I get it. Like, I understand. It could have been it's this love story between these two. I mean, it's beautiful. It really is. But it's just not finished. It felt like a really, really unfinished stage one sort of part of the film. They hadn't really... They were like, this is it! And then they just put it out there as opposed to thinking it through, wrapping it up, getting it sorted, making sure it's a whole full package ready to be put out there. It just wasn't. So that's why I'm a bit grr about it. But that's all I have for story and script. I don't actually have notes on script, but who? So story, done. Sets and shots, don't really have any complaints here. They did have some very interesting looking sets, full of personality. So.
Yeah, that's one of the words where I put the unique in, because it was the labs and stuff, and it's not something
even
you see
home,
often.
Her apartment.
It was believable.
Yeah. I just loved it. It was just absolutely, it was quirky. It was interesting. There was a lot there. As I said, it's quite an artsy film, very cinematic, which is what was being spoken about a lot regarding this. Very moody shots as well. A lot of the whole lighting and tint aspect considered throughout this film, and some beautiful shots at times too. And that opening sequence underwater, I think that's probably my favourite part.
I've got that. Where have I got that? Yeah, impressive underwater intro.
Yeah, I think for me, considering what that whole film ended up being, I think that's probably for me the best. I thought when I saw that opening scene, I was like, oh, this is going to be so good. And I think that was just the best bit. And it was beautiful. It was surreal. It was just, I was like, oh, where is this going to go? What's it all going to be about? I just
saying that, I don't remember it. I remember writing the note, but I don't remember. It
was her apartment all being underwater, and then I think she's asleep or something in it. And I was like, is this a dream? Like, so, yeah, I mean, it was beautiful, but that was it.
Even though I wrote impressive underwater intro, I've forgotten it.
Oh, well done. I think that's all I've got for that section. So we'll move on now to cast and characters. Rodney, good old Rodney.
That's my name.
He's typecast, but he plays very well. Have you got that as well?
Yeah, Rodney from Atlantis. On my notes, I went, OMG, it's Rodney. But then when it comes to writing the notes, I was thinking, what character was Rodney? What? I kept thinking of one from Only Fools and Horses.
And it's David Hewlett, in case you're wondering who on earth are we going on about.
From Stargate Atlantis.
Exactly. It's Rodney. So he just plays Rodney. And I'm starting to wonder, is he just playing himself? So I don't really know. I've never met him. Haven't got a clue. But hey, stick with it. Rodney, typecast, works.
The cast were relatively believable and no real complaints, I guess. I did feel a little bit of feelings.
Oh, yeah, I got the feels as well. Absolutely. What's her name? Octavia Spencer. She was hilarious. It was very well played. Yes. The lines were well delivered. That was that great dynamic with her character. Along with obviously Sally's character, because she's a mute, and it was just because apparently the relationship is they've known each other quite long, so she can really just interpret even just the body movements and the body language of Sally. You know, she doesn't even have to really think too hard about it. She knows exactly what. I thought that was brilliant. And they read each other so well. So I absolutely loved that aspect of the two of them and the relationship they had there, that really close friendship. Although, here we go, you ready for it? There are some character flaws. There are some things that don't quite make sense. And if you have seen the film, or you will eventually see the film, you probably understand where I'm coming from. So considering if you've got a character who deeply, deeply believes a certain thing, and that is what they stand by, and it makes sense because that's their character, that's how it should be. And then without question, absolutely without question, accepts the opposite quite lightly, like it's okay and it's all okay. That doesn't make any sense to me. Why make such a big deal about it, and then you find out this completely crazy fact about, you know, this person, but it's okay? So it ain't right.
No, I agree.
It's just not right. And it put up a little bit of a fight, but then it's totally okay, and they joke about it, and I'm just like, I don't get it, and why? And then there are certain scenes, like, considering this all has to be kept hush-hush, what's going on, this little relationship, and blah, blah, blah. And then they have a chat, quite a vocalized chat, in a lift, full of all the other cleaners, workers, janitors, whatever. So it's like, you want to keep this secret, yet you're openly having a conversation in a small confined space where everyone can hear what you're saying. That made no sense to me. Why? It's like, surely you'd pull them aside in the locker room or somewhere. I don't know. Just anywhere where there's no one else, and you have this conversation. You know, you've got to keep it secret. You've got to keep... I don't get it.
I agree.
Yeah. What are you laughing at?
I'm just totally agreeing with you, but
it's just like things like that made no sense to me. Why in that film? I mean, you want it to be I don't understand. Please make me understand why you wanted these two characters to talk about something extremely important. That's extremely, like, it has to be kept top secret, and you're having it said. But then it's not even a case that anyone snitched. Like, if it was a case of, unless I missed that part of the film, but unless it was a case of, Did anyone snitch? Did I miss that part of the film? I don't think so. I don't think anyone snitched because they couldn't ever prove it. They had a suspicion, but then it was never, like, proved. I don't think anyone snitched. So it's like, it would make sense if they had that scene, because then it's like one of those cleaners or people or workers or whatever said something to someone, but that wasn't the case. It was just a intuition sort of thing, gut intuition. They just, whatever. Anyway, okay, that's it. So some things really don't make sense in this film, both with the story side and with the character side. But acting-wise, brilliant. Character-wise, didn't understand it. So yeah. Anything else you want to...
No, that was it for cast and characters.
Oh, cool. I guess I just rant in this one. You're like, it was okay. It was a bit artsy.
Well, no, as I said, the characters were believable and quite well done.
Yeah.
And I think she was done quite well. Is it Sally Hawkins? She done quite well.
Yeah.
As the role.
Absolutely. I have no issues with the... That's what I mean. I have no issues with the acting side. They all played their characters really well. My only concern is the characters, again, it just seemed unfinished. Like, for me, it didn't make sense for that character to suddenly be like that or do that, considering what had been made very clear throughout the first section of the film. Anyway,
part of me wants to go back and watch Crimson Peak or maybe Pan's Labyrinth just to see how the characters are in that.
Pan's Labyrinth I'm never going to see again. It's a brilliant film, but I will cry my heart out, so I'm not doing it. Pan's Labyrinth, really good film though. And Crimson Peak, I've seen it.
It's not okay. One I really wanted to see again anytime soon, I just want to see how well the characters are in it.
I remember the characters.
See how well they're fleshed out.
I think there might have been a few holes in that. Not as much as this one. I mean, this one literally was just filled with holes, but yeah. Okay, CGI makeup, I guess.
Because characters aren't a thing that I ever come away from with his films that I'm thinking about.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I just felt it was really obvious in this one. It was a bit upsetting because it was like a smack in the face. That's why I had to put it down. CGI and makeup, no complaints here. The look of the creature is absolutely amazing. There's great CGI, makeup, prosthetics, all of that sort of thing. So I was quite happy with that.
Mm-hmm.
No problem. And obviously some of the shots that probably had to be quite CGI-ified looked very good.
It was another sort of unique thing, isn't it? It's not something you see often, the CGI that was in this film.
Yeah.
And
I think he just wants to make that impact, which he does.
Yeah.
And a lot of his films, they do. The sets look amazing and they're very atmospheric. And straight away you get that feeling.
You know it's a film from him.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is why I want to see some of his old films now to see if it's a common problem, as well as a common good things about his film. Is it a common problem that his characters aren't fleshed out?
Yeah, I just think because there was all that hype, because it's his name and it's his film, but I just really think it was unfinished. I just feel like it was rushed. Maybe they could have spent another year on it, just getting it all together, and then get it out. I just feel like maybe they got too excited. I don't know if they realised maybe afterwards, like, maybe we should have rethunk that a little bit. Is that even a word? Rethunk? Anyway.
That's the word I use for stuff. All words are made up at some point.
Exactly. You got that off a film, no?
Got that for a few films.
Oh, I thought I'd heard that recently.
It's an old saying.
Anyway.
It has come out recently, yeah.
CGI makeup.
Thor said it in Avengers.
Oh, maybe that's what it is. Anything else from you?
Nah.
Randoms. Believe it or not, I found this way more risque than 50 Shades all put together. So
that's because 50 Shades was just a bit meh.
Prepared. Yeah, 50 Shades is S&M in it.
Yeah, but it's not, is it?
And nudity. This, I was like, even my mum, she saw this film before me. She was like, be prepared when you go to see this film. Then when we saw the film, I don't think people knew what they were coming in to see. No one warned us about this kind of stuff, the kind of scenes we would be watching and what exactly goes on and how they are going to explain it or do it. And these like lovely elderly like women that were in front of us, because they probably thought they're going to see quite a beautiful romantic. The shock and horror, but wait for it.
I forgot about
Wait for it. Credits come up. The lights come on. Obviously,
we sit there till
we're
the end.
always there till the very end. These two ladies, everyone had left,
We
right?
chat up when the cast is going up and everyone's leaving. We still chat about the film a little bit.
So like... So everyone has walked out in shock and horror, I think, because I don't think anyone understood what they went to see. And we still couldn't get over it. And we were like, these two women are still here.
I keep giggling. I keep thinking about it.
They'd fallen asleep. Bless them. They did wake up, though, when we started walking past them. So that was okay.
I think I cleared my throat on purpose.
Oh, my goodness.
Signify the lights have come on.
Oh my gosh, these poor women. Poor women. It'd be like a topic to talk about in their groups and stuff, but...
I forgot about that. I didn't write that down.
How funny. I didn't have it written either, but that was just a memory. That was gold.
Everyone asked me what I thought of this film when we saw it, because people know
I'm so confused.
Yeah, people know we see films all the time. And they were like, oh, what did you think of it? And I said, I'm not sure if I enjoyed it because it was an okay film or because it was just a different film and a bit different from other films.
I wonder if people are like, you're going to like it because it's his name. Like, it's one of his. Yeah. You kind of like, in the back of your mind, I'm going to like it either way. And it's like, well, I didn't. I mean, he does create amazing work, but I feel like this time he really didn't hit it perfectly where it could have been. And I think another thing, whenever you're going to bring fantasy into a film, it has to, you really got to do a good job. And the thing is, yeah, this amphibious man turns up, but there's this whole potential backstory to Sally's character that you actually think is what's the ending's going to all be about, but you don't really find anything out. It's just so like, at the end, it's so anticlimactic.
Lackluster.
Yeah! It annoyed me! Anyway, right, so that was my random about the whole 50 Shades thing. We kind of went off topic, but yeah. So, any more randoms? Time to move on to the rate. What are you going to give it?
5.
Oh, you see, I was going to give it a 6.
Well, as I said,
I don't know.
People asked me what I thought of the film, and I thought it was different. And I think I partly enjoyed it because of that, and I've enjoyed some aspects of it, but...
But as a whole, it just really wasn't there.
No.
I mean, I've got it as unrealistic. I know you're going to be like, but Toro, it's a fantasy film. And it's like, I get that. But if you're putting it into... Right, so this is the world that we're living in this film.
Obviously far-fetched.
Which, yeah, it has some unrealistic things in it. But it's based in the real world with some fantasy aspects in it. So we get that. But it was unrealistic for that world. Like, it made no sense for those characters to do those things, for these scenes to occur. That's where it was like, it's unrealistic, it was unexplained, it felt very unsure about itself. There was all this hype about this film, which really annoyed me, because it's like, if you're going to bring this hype, you better deliver. And it really it's just a pretty looking film with a very poor plot that, it had so much potential, but I really feel like it didn't give us what we were supposed to have. Some people might have walked out completely loving the film, but maybe they don't question it. And we've come to a point now, Andy and I, we've done film reviews for so long, and there's a certain someone that we know who's kind of opened our eyes to how to really rip films to shreds. But Moana and Beauty and the Beast are still on top for me. Oh, and Greatest Showman. It's up there too. Top 3 films.
Deadpool's number 4.
Absolutely. Can't wait to see Deadpool 2, by the way. That's going to be a film review in the not too distant future, as soon as it comes out next week. Woohoo! Anyway, so many holes in the plot. There's so many unanswered questions. When I came out, I was just confused, and I went home and I think I had a rant to my family because I was like, what on earth? Also, some very odd character choices and decisions that didn't quite make sense. Beautiful cinematography, brilliant sets, costumes, acting, all of that. But it was not fully thought out with the plot. There was poor decision making and unnecessary parts. And other parts that weren't explored enough. Don't waste the time with the stuff that you don't need in the film. You should have put more effort in and written out parts of the film that would have made it way more amazing. So I think I'll still go with a 6. I don't know. I'm just too confused right now. The rating it's gotten is a 7.4. So it has got like a really decent rating, but I'm I am still a bit confused about it. So I don't know.
It's not a great film in my eyes.
It's not. I wouldn't give it a 7.4. I'd give it a 6 as a high.
You have given it a 6.
No. I mean, like a 6. Do you know what I mean? Like 7.4. If I was to see that, I'd be like, oh, okay, so this film is going to be that good. You know, it's not going to be amazing, but it's still going to be quite mind-blowing and I'm going to love it and there's maybe good twists in it or whatever. But this film was like, I don't understand what you're doing with it. So anyway, that's my opinion. You might go see it and it will rock your world entirely. That's absolutely fine. That's kind of the fun about film reviews. I mean, we can kind of let you know as much as we can with our experience and what we kind of gathered from all of it. But at the end of the day, if it's your sort of film and maybe you love Guillermo del Toro sort of films and that's it, and you're just happy to soak in and take in whatever you see on the screen, that fantasy, you'll accept it and you love the beauty of how it looks. Perfect. Might be your sort of film. Me, I was like, that makes no sense. That makes no sense. Oh, headache. So next time, hopefully. Come on, Del Toro, I know you can do better than that.
Well,
he has done better than that. Oh, what is this?
A darker version of Pinocchio.
Oh my god. Oh, he better do that justice.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I've got it in my head right now. That'll be amazing. When is that?
No date.
Oh,
well, I don't
my
know.
goodness.
There might be a date, but I don't believe so. No date.
Oh, that'll be amazing. Oh, I say that'll be amazing. I hope it will be amazing. Because that'd be awesome. Anything with a dark twist on it, I'm like, yeah.
We shall see.
Absolutely. Anyways, thanks again for listening. We'll have another film review out for you very, very soon. In the meantime, take care. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks to Cineworld Festival Leisure Park Basildon for the best experience around.